How are you?
How are you? You sound a little tired.
No, I'm just a little tired. We're down at the beach and
Oh my gosh.
the little kids and all that stuff. It gets a little tiring at times.
I would tell me about it. We were down a couple weeks ago with a lot of kids. But I can call you another time, Keith.
No, it's fine.
I said I'll make it quick as I can because I had dinner with John last night. I had a little bit. But I definitely want to get your thoughts on things. I sent a bulletized version just about 5 minutes ago, so it's quicker to go over what you had sent. It's from you. I just organized it a little differently. Do you see it yet?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so uh, this is your thinking. We launch the affinity group, get the website set up, then set the advisory board, and work on the 501c3, and then so forth. Those are your three priorities. Is that correct?
Yep, that was my response to Ray.
Okay, and now you saw the note from John, right? From his meeting with the Carol woman.
Yeah, and frankly, Emery, I still don't understand where John's coming from, and I don't understand his reluctance. And now it's start the 501c3 and try to get initial benefactors to contribute, and then create a. To me, I feel like I'm shooting at a moving target, not knowing why it's so difficult to get up and going.
Well, it's because she's. Um,
I mean, if he's got $3 million, let's say he's got $1 million to $3 million. I can't imagine, regardless of what form it comes to the university, and that the university to say we don't want it.
Here's the thing, John is a little tougher at just plain throwing it in the main fund and hoping something comes that's important to him.
I know, but I mean, if you were to create a 501c3 and say, I'm going to donate $3 million over the next 10 years through the 501c3, I can't imagine they're going to say, we don't want it.
Yeah, but that's not, but she doesn't get any credit for that at all. So
well, who cares? Why does John care? My question again is, why does John care about any of this? Why doesn't he care?
Here's why I think, because that has puzzled me too. He has started with the new president, and the bucket used to be, but now the woman, to be a buddy, and a named person, a person named in the university chit chat talk of generous people. Okay, the president came to his house in Florida 2-3 times, and somewhere along the line, he's made some promises, I believe. That's what, and he can't really back away in good conscience without having negatives. I think that's all it is, really. Does that make sense to you at all?
Maybe it just sounds like ego to me. It sounds like ego. And if he's made promises, but he wants us to kind of push the thing along and kind of almost have it thrust upon. It almost sounds to me like he wants it to come across as it was thrust upon him as an opportunity, not that he was participating in it.
Yes.
And if that's what he wants, tell us. Just be above board and say, I made promises and I can't really lead this, and you guys are gonna have to do it. And I will.
I think he's working toward that. If he's not there yet. Now, let me.
Well, yeah, I don't have a lot of. To me, I'm getting to the point where I'm not going to count on John's. If John can't be above board with this process and just tell us what's going on and what commitments he's made, or why he's so reluctant, because she's still talking about a chaired funding a chair.
Yes.
And in John's update, he's not getting them to bend off any of the old traditional stuff. And so, I have no problem starting a 501c3 if I think there's going to be real funding behind it. and I'm not sure John's going to be the guy.
No,
And
well, here's the thing. Say John isn't the guy. I believe it's quite likely others will surface, and that's just
I agree, and I think we could do that by doing the affinity group first.
Yes, all the things
and getting the advisory board in place, and seeing if there's a willingness, a more bona fide, straightforward, above board willingness to put basic reasonable amounts of funding in.
Yeah. Now here's the thing, Keith. To my mind, and I'm in total agreement with you, is because John is putting money in. Okay. The things that we're suggesting, led by basically your thinking structure on it, are much more receptive to Lehigh. Because if John's on a little tightrope, but if they said that you can't do this, Keith, or you can't do this, Emery, or you're fired, Emery, or whatever it is, then they figure that's going to offend John. They're going to lose that John's money. So basically, it's something happening in parallel. There's some money coming from John, and some good things, and okay, that's fine. But that's opening the doors and allowing a wonderful structure to evolve on all the things we're talking about that would not have happened easily otherwise. So the end result, you look back on it, this isn't bad. We didn't necessarily plan it exactly this way, but that's how it worked out. And I don't see any negatives to that, really.
No, I don't either. I just think we need to, if we're going to go down this path, we need to tell John, just instead of asking John for his continued input, which seems to be roundabout at best, just say this is what we're doing.
We're not really asking John for too much input. And he said here in the thing that I'm not really, I forget how he worded it, but he wasn't really too, I don't know what the right wording is, too connected to his thoughts. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. He says it in the words that he doesn't see himself as a lead player.
No, he said that a number of times, but but somehow he still gets into the discussion. I mean,
I think that's also because he's been so active in all aspects. I feel, Keith, just so you know my thoughts, John, let's see what he's done, all right, for us. He's bought 3 new complete sets of computer hardware. Okay? He's paid for half of a collaboratory. Okay? He's funded our philanthropic efforts in 3 or 4 projects. He's funded a lot of the extra work that's been done by Columbus on all kinds of things. It's like summer months worth of things. He's done. I mean, there's like 5 more things that he's given a lot of money. He's given a lot of money and a lot of support for a lot of things over the years. Enormous amounts, really, hundreds of thousands of dollars, really. And so it's I personally feel very appreciative. We would be all right. Anyhow, you get the picture. So
I get the picture, and so he has a reason. He has a I hate to say it this way; it's the wrong way to say it, but he's earned his right to sit at the table.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good way to say it. I like the way you said that. He has.
So
no, you're right. That's a terrific way to say it, Keith. He has. He may have other tables that he sits at.
Yep.
But when he comes over, like a picnic, when he comes over to our table, it's not like he's pushing people off. He's got a seat. It's just he's got other, and I don't know if that's so bad.
Well, Well, it's better than having not earned a seat at the table.
I got to tell you, he's certainly just on a dollar basis. And well, I told you, like how many 3 full sets of computer hardware? That's like 22. It's uh,
Yeah.
desktops and all. Now he wasn't buying mainframes because that was before him. But the ones all the ones we have now, and that includes the whole unit, everything, complete new stuff, and the screens. So anyhow, I'm going to just shut up about this because I wanted to get over to something else with you.
So my suggestion is we can schedule it now or schedule it when I get back next week, but or Friday. I get back Friday. But to me, if we're going to go with my approach, if you're okay with that, then we need to do a couple things up front. One is review the website, the current website. Have Andy take us through the current website, draft of the current website, and then secondly, sit with Maitri and get a mailing list, an email mailing list put together of the best one she has for ESC alumni, and be prepared once we're saying, hey, we like the website, to potentially launch it and launch it by virtue of doing a mass email, sending it out, and seeing what kind of initial responses we get, and create a campaign to let people know that the affinity group is now in existence and so on, and in parallel, get the 4 members of the advisory board together and maybe have them review the I'll put a little project plan together, but while I'm here, and get them to review it, edit it, provide input, and then sign off that it go live. And when it goes live, the email list gets sent out, and the first couple rounds of email blasts get sent out, officially announcing the affinity group. And something very straightforward, but it gets the affinity group going, it gets the advisory board going right away, and we go from there.
I think the timing is right. I mean, I think your first designs on this what 3 years ago at least.
Yeah.
But it's nothing. I apologize for the sluggishness on this, but the timing, I think, it's like the stars are lined up. Everything, the stars are just lined up, timing wise, for even the anniversary of the department's. I just everything is lined up, I think, and the AI business of so we can have people. It finds information that's useful to interesting. We can supply a little bit of a service to the alumni, hopefully somehow along the way, of I don't know, just some good things that are all lining up. And
well, I mean, we'll try to create the equivalent of a clearinghouse for project opportunities or distance kind of projects.
Those things like that. And and I think Andy's got some. Finally, I shouldn't say finally, but he's anxious to present to you because I think he feels. There's some significant good things that you will be pleased with. He said that, right, Dan? Andy said that, right? That's out of his mouth, not me pushing.
Yeah.
So anyhow, all that now. So that I think realistically that should not be Friday of this week. This is tomorrow's Lynn and my wedding anniversary, so we're losing a day or two. I said they'd lose.
That's fine.
Losing. That's not the right way to say that, Keith. And I pull it back.
I know, Amber, you're fine. Well, look, I'll put a little project plan together. I'll think it through, put it together, send it to you, and maybe we'll chat on Friday and schedule a time next week to physically get together.
That sounds good.
And maybe that's when we see what current version of what Andy has. We'll figure out how we can get it to the next closer step to finished. And then once we feel we got a timeline for that, we can reach out to the other two or three people for advisory board membership, and see if they're willing to do it, and schedule a time with them.
Yes, and I think the wording, of how we describe, is not the end of something, but it's the ongoing success story of the ESC. I mean, how things are going to get better and more impactful. And
well, no one's gonna donate if they think we're announcing the end of the ESC.
Not even a pause point, or not even a. There's no. It's all. It's what we're doing is leveraging new technology tools available. And
well, I think we tell them exactly. To me, you tell them the real story. The story is that the ESC has built a business model that seems to be pretty rare, if not unique. And its alumni have reached the size where it's reached the critical mass constituting an affinity group, and an affinity group can leverage and help grow and further the objectives of its base, for example, the ESC, in ways that the ESC just by itself can't do. It can keep on going down the path it's going. This creating the affinity group as a catalyst to support the ESC to the next stage of its existence and evolution. To me, it makes sense. You've got the critical mass of the alumni group to now be able to really dig in and help out, and just projects alone, and online mentoring alone is something that could really help facilitate the ESC in ways that it can't do just as it is today.
Yes, and one of the things, Keith, if I can add, this is not different than what you're saying in Cincinnati. With respect to the business model, and as a result of the meeting with the dean, okay, our business model, as we lock it in, since the university has said they like it, but to lock in characteristics that they will see. AI used the word clawing, but I don't like to say that, but is the three features of this. One is the value of reserves. You can't take money that we've been able to wring out of projects or gifts or whatever. Can't take that. It carries over year to year. It's not like you give us the money, there's some left, we take it back, says Leon. No, you never gave it. And you hear me harp on this, but that feature we need to get. They may not be, the university people may be in a little rush to not, when we characterize our business model, they may, that's all good, but that's going to be in there in a way that if they go after, we say, no, look what you did, and we promised hundreds of people this was the model you were supporting, and then you think they're going to give when you pull this kind of crap. Second thing is, faculty are paid by the department, by the university, because one of the things that Carol is, what they like to do is to get things where gifts pay for faculty, and that's a swap to the general fund. I mean, do you understand what I mean when I say that?
I do, and what I recall, and I could be wrong, but what I recall was there were particularly for faculty, if you were going to get funded by, if a faculty member was going to, this goes back 40 years when I was there, 35 years when I was there. If a faculty member was going to get funding from a project, or say a researcher project or something, it would have to buy him out of some portion of his teaching load.
Yes, but the main teaching flow isn't, in other words, the center is not going to be taxed for a faculty salary. Okay, that's. But
what I'm saying is, you're carrying a normal teaching load. So, if you're carrying a normal if Emory Zimmers is carrying a normal teaching load, you can't touch the center.
Yeah.
To me, that's always been the logic.
Yes. Now, just so you know, and I'm sorry to do this when you're at the shore, but I want to tell you something that's been in place and approved basically by several deans and department chairs and all that. One of my course responsibilities is ISE 112, which is the 1 credit hour design lab that meets in the main room area there, you know, and it usually meets 3 or 4 afternoons a week. Okay. Now, it's not possible to do to have it to be the center chair, the department head of the center, and have that much time taken on a 1 credit hour lab course. All right.
Right.
So the approval for that to have Columbus usually it's been it was Larry Butler for probably 4 or 5 years, because the reason it was Larry is he has to be somebody that knows the software. Larry used the software for his design business, his company, so he knew it inside out because he's using it every day. So he could do that. And I gave some of the lectures and was responsible for the course. But then the recent past is Columbus has done that. And because he wasn't fully paid by Lehigh, he needed to just to live, have a family, etc. And so at any rate, but that money did not come from the Lehigh. The money to pay the person that filled in for me, essentially the way a TA would have, but like a super TA. Just so you know, but that I don't now. That's not a secret, obviously. But I am careful when I say that I fulfilled every teaching assignment. They never. Here's the problem, Keith, is when you give the CAD course, basically the CAD lab, to the typical TA, which is non-English speaking and doesn't know the software very well, it is very difficult to have that succeed. And it's the first semester they're in the department, and they're having a very unpleasant experience. Okay? And so I said, we can't do that, but I can't do this 4 afternoons a week. I mean, for the full afternoon, plus all the grade and everything else. So we'll work it out. We'll work out something that I'm responsible for having a very high quality person that knows inside out the software, and also that course has a project in it. Linking with a company. It also is where we go over the preview of what all the course electives are about. I mean, it's a super for a 1 credit lab. It's a super thing, but I restructured it so it wasn't a foreign TA, struggling through it. But just now, that was never going to come up. But I wouldn't claim. You don't have you yourself watch your wording that Emory's done every single course because that one that we worked out. Now, what I just told you was not unknown to most. I don't know whether the current dean's aware of it, probably not, but because they've been doing it so long. But all the department chairmen, the associate chairs, everybody's familiar with this and why it is. And it's pleased. Any rate, one last thing, and then I'll let you go, is we have to make sure when we characterize the business model that there's 3 functional areas that get taken care of by monies derived from projects, by monies that are developed as part of the Enterprise System Center business model. There's the financial oversight, like the McDougall stuff, because you have to have that. I mean, there's a lot of accounting with these projects.
Right.
The the logistics and the management of the mentors, the coordination with companies, all that stuff, and that's my three. The actually in the acquisition of grad students when a project needs a boost, or in the summer, all different kinds to manage that the logistics part of it, and also a marketing function. The acquisition of new business. It's not the way anybody at Lehigh. Well, I don't know that for but it's not the general way that people do get new business opportunities. There's no I would call it a semi-aggressive marketing. It's just like kissy maybe.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not. It's
yeah,
not, and you know that because you work there. But you have to go after business, right? I
yeah.
mean, and
Yep,
and you have to go
yep.
after mentors. You have to be aggressive. And now, is that unusual? Well, frankly, when they talk about the new model for universities, as things get less and less, here's the federal government throwing money at the people.
Right.
It's going to be more like that. But
Hmm.
that component is also our responsibility, the center. But it needs to be there. So if too much money's drained off on other stuff, the reserves are taken away, the money's drained off on subsidizing faculty pay, and so those three areas I talked about are part of the business model. And if they want to have a good business model operational, they have to let those things flourish. Did that all make sense to you?
Yep, it does. Makes perfect sense.
And so I think we can, articulate that now and get what I started out to say, and then I said, I'll let you go, is we can characterize the business model so that when Carol's crapping around with John, it all gets blessed as, oh, this is a wonderful way to do things. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
And that's, uh, then all that's blessed and nobody goes at it. Anyhow, go ahead.
I mean, my 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 view is, I mean, it's identical to yours. My view is it's been operating as is for like of the 50 years. It's been
Right.
operating at least half that time the way you just described it. So there, to me, there's de facto agreement from the university that that's an endorsement from the university. It's because it's been ongoing with no secret about it for 25, 30, 35 years. And so to me to say this, I'd have no problem in the write-up on the website saying that this is a university. The university supports this.
And it's blessed. But the money lady from the dean said, one of the reasons we're having this meeting is because with the $7 million shortfall, they're looking around for money. She didn't use those exact words. And we just got to make sure that as we say how good our business model is and go after the next, continuum of success and growth and blah, blah, that they don't come in the back door and say we need some more money. We're just getting it any way we can.
Well, and again, assuming we put it on the website, which I'm assuming we're going to do, to me, we put a description of the current business model, and that's long since been endorsed by the university based on 25, 35, whatever the number of years of tacit approval, and that's where it is today. And that's kind of like saying hands off, don't touch it.
And if Carol tries to touch it, for example, or some backdoor way, say, Carol, you can touch it, but you got a lot of smart people that know what's going on around here. And if you think you're going to continue to knock on doors and get money out of them, you're wrong, because they're going to know you screwed us over. And, and so it's a little, I don't feel uncomfortable with making sure.
No, I don't either. I mean, when you publicize what's already been tacitly endorsed for decades, there's nothing nefarious about that. So
No,
it's just,
but actually, but consciously doing it, like I'm talking about, we're going to do. You're going to do it
yeah,
with the way the things you just outlined. I'm not going to repeat them, and I'm going to do it by making sure it's clear what the winning components are, the business model, so forth. We're just that's all we're reinforcing it, and then
right.
turn it into a money acquisition or support acquisition, all the good things. So anyhow,
And to me, it's today's business model and the next generation business model.
yeah,
And the next generation business model includes the affinity group
absolutely.
As an active arm of the ESC.
Keith, and you're the perfect person because of your ability and your historical successes in helping companies restructure, succeed in how and doing all the things you just outlined, and providing consulting guidance for this. So we have all the right cards. I think that's
all right. So two things I'll work on. One is the little mini project plan for how we move forward. I'll get that to you by Friday. Hopefully we can talk Friday for a couple minutes. Schedule
yes.
done.
Yes.
And then secondly, I'll start working on putting words to the business model to describe the current business model, and then to describe the how it's envisioned to be augmented to the next level with the affinity group.
Yes.
And I'll get that done so when we get together face to face, hopefully next week, we can go through that and figure out where to fit it in, how to fit it into the architecture of the website.
Yes. Thank you so much. Now look, but you're on vacation with your family, I'm believing. So
yeah, but we all need distance time. You know what I mean?
Keith, more than you know, for every year when we go to there's a balcony, and with the wind, and you can see the ocean from it, and I mean you just need a little. I would call it a break from vacation.
Exactly.
And it doesn't, to keep your brain from atrophying.
Absolutely.
And that's very understandable to me. But don't overdo.
No,
But
no.
thank you. But here's the other thing, Keith, and I'll leave you this on. You clearly, more than almost anybody I've known, enjoy business modeling and business consulting and thinking about these broader issues and business success. So it's not straining you to do this. I don't believe it's giving you. It's I don't know what you would call it, but it's a little moment or two of joy in a way.
It's fun. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Anyhow, so have a good time with your family on Friday. Let's see. Well, how do you want to set the timing on that?
Whatever you want. I think I'm pretty open same kind of thing after 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm pretty open.
Let me see as the week evolves here, because I have a couple of things on Friday, but I have a lot of time too, and but I won't specify time block till a little bit later, and I'll tell Lynn that you said happy anniversary to her.
We'll do it.
Okay.
All right, Frank.
Take care, Keith. Enjoy.
All right. Sounds good. Good to talk to you.
Take care. Bye-bye now. Thank you very much. Super much.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.